You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Resnack. Agassiz Chamber Music Festival Connected is keeping virtual audiences engaged with many of Canada's finest chamber musicians. Running from Sunday, May 30th to Saturday, June 5th, 7 nights of glorious music making are officially underway. Madeline Hildebrand is an award-winning and phenomenally busy touring pianist, and thankfully she's made the time to not only join the cast of Agassiz performers, but also to connect with us here at Classic 107. Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Simon.
Well, it's so good to have you back. I feel like we need a new segment on Classic 107 called Maddie Monthly, just because you always have something going on.
I love it. Sure. I'm happy to come on once a month.
Well, phenomenal. There's so many things to talk about, and I'm just so thrilled that you're part of this Agassiz cast once again. Let me start off by congratulating you on yesterday's performance, the festival favorite, the Schumann Quartet. How thrilling is that?
Thanks. Yeah, it's such a stunning piece, and I got to play it with some pretty beautiful company, Carl, Yuri, and Dan. And yeah, it went well. I was pleased to be asked to play this. So,
can you tell us a little bit more about what it's like working with? I mean, you just casually name dropped them in there, but you know, Carl Stobbe and Dan Schultz and Yuri Hooker. Those are some big names, and you joining them. It really is a power quartet. What's it like working all together and making music together?
That's a great question. Well, those three musicians that you just mentioned, Yuri, Carl, and Dan, have worked together so often. And even though I've played with them occasionally, I don't get to play with them nearly as much as they get to play with each other. So being the fourth member of that fold is like just stepping into a well-oiled machine. So festival concert series tend to sort of have the reputation where you have like a week to prepare this music and then you perform it all together. And so with minimal preparation time and rehearsal time, rehearsing and working on this repertoire with three musicians that have played with each other so often and have actually played the piece often as well is just such a joy and a pleasure. It makes my job a lot easier. So yeah, it's enjoyable and it's just so easy working with this with that trio. So I was grateful that I got the opportunity to do it again.
Of course. I mean, there's something really unique about this Agassiz Festival, and that is that it is the first ever 100% virtual Agassiz Festival. And as Paul Marlane, when I spoke with him last week, explained, these are live shows that have been previously pre-recorded, because we all know how great technology is when it works, and then how it always just seems to stop working right when we really need it most. But I think what's really cool here is that it makes a very interesting opportunity for you in that you get to watch yourself back. And I mean, you've given several of these virtual recitals now. Do you find yourself like, what's it like watching yourself back on the screen? Is it something that you enjoy doing? Do you cringe? It's kind of like when I hear my voice on the radio, I think, no, I can't sound like that.
That's a great question because so the more of these virtual concerts I've recorded, the more I learn all the different ways in which one can execute this presenting a concert like this. So in the case of Agassiz, this was an experience where it ran just like a normal concert where we sit down and play the program from the beginning to the end, and we don't get a chance to redo a movement or even a section of a piece if we desire to do so. So what you see in these Agassiz presentations are honest takes as if it were a live performance. So in fact, it's probably the most authentic recording experience I've had in the last few months, and that is cool. I think that there's a different kind of energy that comes with well, I know that there's a different kind of energy that comes with that experience, and I hope that the audience can see that as well. Now, I'll just say there are other recording experiences that I've been part of this month where, or rather this year, where, you know, we take a 6-hour day to record 40 minutes of music.
Yeah, the opposite end of the spectrum.
Opposite end, exactly. So that's a lot more work, of course, for the recording technicians. to edit something, that you've tried take after take after take. And that's a different experience as well. But yeah, what I appreciate and value about the Agassiz experience is that the audience is seeing like an actual concert that has been pre-recorded and brought to their screens.
Yeah, an honest portrayal, the one and done. You get what you
Well
get,
done. Yeah.
that's just it, right? That raw take.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep mentioning the Agassiz Festival, of course. You're back performing with Agassiz Festival. It's something you've done before. Tell us a little bit more about what you enjoy performing as part of this week-long chamber fest. I don't know, extravaganza.
Um, so sorry, say that again. What have I enjoyed?
Yeah, what keeps you coming back to Agassiz Festival?
Oh, okay. So what keeps me coming back to the Agassiz Festival? So the reason why I say yes to the Agassiz Festival and to Paul Marlene when he asks if I would, participate, is that I know that there's a stellar group of musicians that I will be playing with. So that is the fun of it for me, and I know that there is a appreciative audience that Paul Marlene and his team have worked hard at. Um, bringing amazing content to, and they keep coming back. So it's the personnel that I'm playing with, and it's the appreciative audiences that we're playing for. So that is why I keep coming back. Also, I've played some really awesome music as part of the Agassiz Festival. Some memorable pieces include a premiere by Pat Carabray called 100,000 Lakes, and also a piece by Sid Rubinovich, one of his violin pieces with Carrie Dewars. So I like that Paul Marlene has an artistic vision of supporting Manitoban composers and Canadian composers. And yeah, so that's what keeps me coming back. It was a pleasure to play this concert yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you mentioned there's the chamber music heavy hitters like the Tchaikovsky and like the Schubert and like the Schumann that you played yesterday, but then there's also the premieres and the new works like Chris Dirksen was on the program yesterday and Karen Sunebaka. So it's all about kind of that balancing act of the old and the new, which is I think just what is so exciting for people like me who are audience members. Now you mentioned the talent and the people who come and perform alongside this, and I think what's really cool about the Agassiz Festival, at least from an outsider's perspective, is that there's this real sense of collegiality. It seems like everybody just happens to be really good friends, and if they're not friends, they make friends very, very quickly. Is that also just a part of the charm? Like you just get to hang out and make music with your friends again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel, well connected, like on a professional and social level with a lot of especially the Winnipeg contingent that plays in the Agassiz Festival each year, as well as, I've now played a few times, and I'm also getting to know this Ottawa contingent as well, which is cool, getting to know Paul a little better, and the people that he brings in. Like, I know that festival favorites of his are Axel Strauss and Stéphane Lemelin. Getting to know those folks over the years has been really neat. But there are festivals all across really North America where artists are asked back each year, and it's almost like a summer camp for them. Like you rehearse your face off, and you hang out, eat a lot of good food, play concerts, and have a party at the end of it all. I can't wait for us to be back in that space where the social aspect is there, as well as, of course, the concerts. So I look forward to that time, hopefully next summer. And but until then, I think that Paul Marlene has done a really great job at transitioning the festival online. So
yeah. I mean, we're all so hopeful that we can enjoy those parties once again and gathering and live music. In the meantime, lots of great virtual shows tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you're back on the program again Saturday, sort of bookending things. Tell us, what will you be playing?
Hi, yes. So on Saturday, Paul and I have collaborated virtually for the Saturday concert. So we're playing a piece where I recorded the piano part on my own without the cello in my ear, and sent him the file, and then he recorded his part with the piano in the ear, and then by the magic of editing, layered them together and the festival will close with this virtual collaboration. Now, this is such an interesting way to produce music, even though it's amazing that we're in a technical place where we can share these musical ideas. Let me just say, I can't wait to breathe again with my collaborators.
Yeah.
So what an amazing thing that we're able to do. But I can't wait for that. And I don't know if the audience understands that, that's something that we have realized lately, the musicians, we can't take that for granted, like physically taking a breath together and then breathing out the music together. So I hope that it comes across virtually a little bit, but I can't wait to be back in that place where, we're together again.
In the meantime, this is really just working to the festival itself. Paul explained is kind of being dubbed the tale of two cities, and so the fact that you're bringing those two cities, this Winnipeg Center and the Ottawa Center together into one. I mean, like you say, it is really cool that the technology is there, but it is by no means a substitute for a live performance, because I can only imagine how challenging that is when it comes to rubato or just even tempo markings or just feeling the music. It's a living thing, and so for it to be relegated to almost like a very fancy click track, it's a very different experience, I'm sure. But the fact that we're able to do it is it really is a modern marvel. So Maddie, thanks for taking the time to tell us a little bit about the Agassiz Festival experience for you today.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks for having me.
Right back at you. Can't wait for next month's Maddie's Minute. I don't know what
knows what it will bring.
I can't wait. But in the meantime, people can check out your performance with Agassiz Festival by visiting the website classic107.com or agassizfestival.com. Tickets are just $20 per household.